So the third sector and job that I'll be looking into is a PE teacher. So this is obviously in sport and recreation. So the job description is you must be able to plan and prepare a structured and beneficial lesson for students. You must be able to adapt and teach students of all ages and abilities. Must be able to organise events like sports days and trips, arranging matches with other schools, and also must be able to manage class behaviour well. And in terms of a personal description, so you must have the ability to use your initiative, the ability to work well with others, excellent verbal communication skills, leadership skills, and you must be clear and be able to teach a skill well. So obviously your job will be involve teaching lessons of different sports all the time, so you must be able to have a strong knowledge and be able to teach a skill to students of all different abilities. So obviously it's going to be a lot harder to teach a skill to someone that isn't as experienced or maybe enjoys sport compared to someone that has a lot of experience in that sport. So it's being able to have that flip between teaching different people of different ages and abilities. So in terms of general information, the average salary, again, it's a huge difference. You can start off at around 16,000 and it can shoot all the way up to 61,000 if you're more experienced. And obviously it's probably if you're working at a top private school in England or something like that. And the average hours a week vary between 33 to 35 hours. So in terms of evaluation then, so for a PE teacher being for me, so from tennis coaching experience, I believe I could be quite strong in putting together a structured session. However, I might be stuck if it's for sports I don't know too well. So I have a huge interest and passion towards sport, but obviously at the moment I'd have to develop a stronger knowledge on different sports and how to put a lesson together for different sports and also for different abilities and ages of kids. Have saying this though, I do coach people of all different ages and abilities, so I have a bit of experience in being able to do that, which is something that not a lot of people can do or have experience in, so that's really good that I have that. I feel confident in being able to arrange fixtures because I have to do this already, due to being the captain for a tennis team. I'm having to organise matches every 2 or so weeks, so that's something that I have experience in doing. In terms of the person description, I feel like I'm quite good at using my own initiative, although it's something that I probably need more experience in. I feel strong with working with other people. I'm fine in group environments. I'm good leading group sessions, which can be backed up from my coaching that I've done. I feel like I have good verbal communication skills. I'm happy talking to people. I feel like I'm good at getting points across and teaching skills. Leadership skills, I feel like I do possess them. Obviously they could be developed more in terms of being specific to a PE teacher, but being a captain I have a bit of leadership skills. I know how to run a team, know how to run a group, and being clear and being able to teach a skill. So obviously for tennis I have that, I feel confident in that, but whether I'd be confident in teaching a bowl in cricket I wouldn't be too sure, so that'd obviously be something that I'd have to develop as well, to be at the right level to be a PE teacher. So finally then, the sector is outdoor education and the job is a climbing instructor. So a few brief points from a job description for being a climbing instructor. So they must be able to supervise climbing wall sessions for individuals or groups, so they must be able to take classes with one person or a group of 7 or something like that. They must be able to carry out pre-session checks on the climbing wall and equipment. So obviously safety in climbing is a huge factor, so being able to make pre-checks before sessions to ensure all the participants are going to be in a safe environment is crucial. And they must ensure that all operating procedures are followed with no compromises to health and safety. Obviously here you can see it's so much to do with health and safety and making sure everyone's in a safe environment. In terms of a person description, they must have effective communication skills. So if someone's climbing up a wall high up above, they must be able to communicate to them using a clear voice, telling them what to do. They must have a friendly and outgoing personality, especially with people that maybe don't feel too comfortable. If the instructor comes across more friendly, this can help reassure the person that's feeling a bit nervous. They must be punctual, well organised and reliable. They must be patient and caring. Be understanding of people's fears, that's obviously a huge one. So like I kind of just briefly mentioned, if people are feeling scared or nervous, the instructor must be aware of this and be understanding. They can't force anyone into doing something they don't want to. And they must also possess good leadership skills. So some general information. So the average salary can start at about 12,000 and again shoot up to around 30,000 if they have more experience and maybe work at a private industry that has a bit more of a higher budget. And average hours vary between 36 to 38. So in terms of evaluation, is the climbing instructor good for me? So I personally don't have any knowledge in climbing wall equipment and knowing if it's safe or not, so I wouldn't at the moment. Currently I have no knowledge in that whatsoever, but obviously it could be something that I can develop. I have no idea what the safety procedures are, but obviously that can be developed as well. But saying this, I don't really have any interest for climbing at all, so it's not really something that I would want to go into as a potential job, just simply to do with the lack of interest for it and not really have any experience before, and also I have a bit of a fear of heights, which obviously isn't ideal. In terms of a person description, the evaluation of that, I feel like I do have effective communication skills. However, if I was in terms of communication for teaching someone how to climb, I wouldn't probably know what to do. I feel like I have a friendly, outgoing personality, so I would be able to reassure students or people taking part. I'm well organised and reliable. I feel like I have an alright patience, and I am caring and kind. I reckon I'd be able to be understanding of people's fears due to me having a fear of heights as well. So I'd be able to relate to that. I wouldn't force anyone into doing it due to the fear I possess myself. And finally, I do feel like I've got good leadership skills. So finally then, obviously from going through all those 4 different jobs from the 4 different sectors, I've come up with a list of 4. So from reviewing these 4 different jobs from the 4 different sectors, I've come up with a list of my own personal preference. So as you can see, the order I put them in for what I believe suits me the best is sports psychology first, physiotherapy second, PE teacher third, and finally climbing instructor in 4th. So the reason behind me putting sports psychologist first is because I feel most connected to it out of all the 4. So firstly, it's something that I have quite a strong interest in, and I'm really enjoying learning it at college, which is obviously really important. Also, I feel like I'm somebody that can understand people's feelings, and I'm very interpersonal, so I feel like I can relate to people. I understand how they might be feeling or what's going through their heads. I also really enjoy working with and helping others, which is exactly what a sports psychologist requires. And finally, because of my heavy involvement in sport, I feel like I would be able to have a good understanding of where other athletes are coming from if I was to work with them in the future. So that's kind of my general reasoning for why I feel like it suits me the best. The reason why I have physiotherapy in second is because I do have an interest in the way the body works, and like I've just said, I enjoy working with and helping other people. However, just for me personally, it doesn't come across as being as appealing as sports psychology. This is partly to do with the kind of the physical touchy-feely side of it. I think I might struggle with this bit in terms of having to maybe give sports massages or touch people in areas which just I don't feel too comfortable with that. PE teacher is in third because I personally struggle working with kids who are at a lower level of ability, just simply to do with my patience. I wish it wasn't the case, but I do struggle a bit, and I wouldn't feel like I'd be able to give them the right the attention that they need in terms of their own ability. And obviously PE teachers need to be able to work with all different aged and ability students as part of their job without treating them any of them different. So I'm not saying that I would treat anyone different, and obviously, like I said before, I have worked with and do work with people of different ages and abilities, but personally I do struggle teaching tennis to younger kids at a lower ability, so I don't feel like I'd be suitable running a class of 20 10-year-olds, for example. Although saying this, I have a real strong passion for lots of different sports, so teaching sport for a day-to-day job is something that I wouldn't mind doing. Also, though, the pay isn't really high for my liking, unless I was obviously at a top private school. Additionally, being able to manage behaviour of a class would be something that I'll need to develop a lot, because I don't feel like I have the right skill set to do this effectively at the moment. Obviously, being able to run a class of young kids that are really badly behaved is something that a PE teacher must be able to do. Finally then, I have climbing instructor last. The reason for it being last is very simply because I have very little interest in climbing at all. Also, I have a slight fear of heights, which obviously doesn't help when it comes to delivering a smooth, successful demonstration. So as obviously part of my job, I might have to demonstrate climbing up the wall on the best route, and due to having a bit of a fear of heights, I wouldn't be able to do this successfully. I believe, and what I have researched, that you need to have a real interest and love for climbing in order to be a good instructor. And I also possess no knowledge at all about climbing and any kind of safety procedures. Additionally, going into this job with some kind of past experience and knowledge is really useful. So therefore, to conclude, I believe that out of these 4 jobs from the different sectors, sports psychology is the best one for me, because of the interest that I have in it, and also I feel like the person description suits me really well as an individual.